not enough.
Well done, Sam. I've never seen a working monorail before. Think of all the stuff it could carry. All right then, why don't we extract some materials? Very good, Sam. Now all you have to do is load the extracted materials onto the monorail for transport. Let's begin by accessing that delivery terminal.
Transported by the monorail has been placed in your private locker. The cargo can be delivered via...
Did you actually manage to restore the monorail? Awesome! With it back up and running, you'll be able to transport materials from the mines. Right. Sorry. Let's take a look at these materials you brought. Would you look at all this? I think it's safe to say we'll have nothing to worry about for a while. Found some of our missing stuff, did you? I thought this was gone for good. We've made some great strides in our research thanks to you. If it's all right, we'd like you to have this. Just wanted to let you know that we're increasing the amount of materials you can withdraw.
displaying your current porter grade.
Oh, here's a little something extra as thanks. I got them just for you. Figured they'd suit your style. They sure weren't easy to come by. A real collector's item, I hear. We really appreciate your help. At the risk of stating the obvious, it's gonna take an awful lot of resources to restore the other roads and monorails to working order. But at least with this monorail operational, you can bring us large shipments of materials with relatively minimal effort. That's gonna go a long way towards getting other sections up and running again. We can fabricate pickup off-roaders now, by the way. I'm pretty fond of them myself. Sure. The monorail network was extensive and once stretched across a good chunk of Australia's coastline. But repeated exposure to timefall has seen it degrade significantly. And with the constant threat of BTs and armed groups, it's not been possible to repair the damage. If you happen to come across a track layer, be sure to feed it any materials you can spare. Even a small contribution will make a difference. Anyway, just something to think about. We're so grateful for the assistance, Sam.
You managed to save the day, Sam. The people here now have more than enough supplies for their needs. They should be able to prepare cargo for the next delivery too. But first, I have some information to share with you. About Lou. Return to the DHV Magellan so we can talk.
Order completed. Well done. That's the spirit. Safety first. I will always support you.
Hey, Sam. How's it going? I have updates for you, if you have time.
I take it you've learned more about Lou?
We followed up on the message Deadman left for you at the lab. About how there was another BB-28, not Lou, who, according to the records, was decommissioned 4 years ago. The first time you and Lou met was about 2 years ago now, when you were entrusted with the BB previously issued to Bridges Corp's disposal. And together, the two of you made it all the way across North America.
Deadman and everyone else at Bridges, they all called Lou BB-28.
Right. Because that was Lou's serial number. You see, we found the records for the BB storage facility. By cross-referencing the data, we confirmed that after BB-28 was decommissioned 4 years ago, Lou was assigned the same designation and placed into storage.
So what you're telling me is that instead of getting a new serial number, Lou inherited an old one?
As for Lou's mother, following the C-section, it seems she passed away. And that, pretty much, is the extent of our recent discoveries. Without a still mother to provide support, it makes sense that Lou was kept in reserve. But we still have no idea who approved the serial number reassignment, much less why they did it.
Higgs said there were things I didn't know. Maybe this is what he was talking about.
I think it could be.
I want to know everything about Lou.
You're playing his game, Sam. Chasing after the past is what Higgs wants you to do.
I need to know where Lou came from. I have to know.
If you're sure, Sam, I'll keep digging. In the meantime, you should get plenty of rest before your next mission.
Sam, it seems Tarman decided to leave a few books for you. Right there, by your bed. Reading is a wonderful way to take your mind off things. Trust me. That's Tarman's son. He must have placed a photograph in here for safekeeping. This is an important memento. Why don't we go and take it to him?
I found this picture in your book. Is this your son?
Thank you. Yes. He's still out there somewhere, borne along on the currents. With this right hand of mine. due to my connection with said missing piece that I can read the movements of the tar. Something akin to a phantom pain. You want to hear the story?
Sure.
I was both a medical doctor and a geophysics researcher once upon a time. In those days, the tar currents were a key focus of mine. This ship was originally built to facilitate my studies, in fact. The deep tar hunting vessel Magellan, we named it. A ship perfectly suited to pursuing the creatures that thrive in the tar's depths. Another avenue of research, you might say. We called them chiral mammals, for lack of a better name. Seemed like the closest fit. Reckoned if we caught one, we could figure out all the mysteries. The tar, the tides, hell, maybe even the stranding.
Whoa, she's a big one.
Strip yourself in, son.
Tar's looking calm. I'll be fine, Pop. You seeing this? I think she's pregnant. Hey, Pop. This is weird.
Storm! And just like that, the tar took my boy, and my hand along with him. At first, I thought this little guy was my son reborn.
If I may ask a question, The hunters that attacked you after you caught the chiral mammal, are you sure they came from within the creature's womb?
Yes. That said, I'm not of the opinion that the hunters were its offspring.
Its womb merely served as a gateway to the other side.
Indeed. The tar and the beach are connected.
So this is a story I heard long ago. In a little port town, there's a custom that's been passed down for generations. Before a new ship makes its maiden voyage, the locals prepare a small paper boat. And upon this boat, they place paper sailors. Paper sailors who bear the names of real men, the names of the crew on the new ship preparing to depart. So, the paper boat is sent out to sea, and being paper, it sinks quickly, with all hands lost. But this is for the best. You see, the paper boat and sailors take the place of their namesakes, sparing the real crew misfortune and ensuring that the ship returns to shore safe and sound. I should mention, by the way, that we observed this custom before launching the DHV Magellan. Better safe than sorry, right? In any case, this is what they had always done for every new ship in the little port town, and what they would do for the next. The first ship to be built there in quite some time, in fact. So, on this joyous occasion, everyone gathered to watch as the paper boat and its paper sailors sank into the sea. And the next morning, the real ship set sail. A few days passed, and then the ship returned. To a man, the crew's faces were all portraits of grief. Why so forlorn, the people asked. A sailor answered by simply pointing at a black mass upon the deck. The armless, legless, blood-soaked corpse of the ship's captain. He had been swept overboard by a massive wave and torn apart by a ravenous shark. And after they pulled what remained of him onto the deck, they found, hidden in his jacket pocket, an armless, legless paper sailor. Someone had hated the captain with a passion. Now that I think about it, I recall seeing something on your door just now. Something made of paper. Yes, a little paper figure with Sam written on it. I've known Tarman for quite a while now, but that was the first time I've heard him speak about his son in that fashion. It made me wish that I could do something, anything to ease his burden. But setting aside those feelings, suppose that cat of his is in fact his son reborn. Why does it treat me as though I'm a threat? Does it just hate me? Reincarnation or not, perhaps it's still a cat at heart. So, the files say you worked with Amelie to connect everyone in the UCA to the chiral network. But that despite your best efforts, an extinction event known as the Last Stranding seemed destined to kill us all. Until Amelie found a way to put a stop to it. She single-handedly sealed off the extinction entity's beach, preventing countless BTs from invading our world, and in doing so, saved humanity. But why am I telling you this? You were there to witness it all with your own two eyes. And you, of all people, must know that humanity can never truly escape extinction. The ultimate goal of Drawbridge's mission is to overcome the Death Stranding. If we succeed, we will be fulfilling Amelie's dying wish. At least that's how I see it. You know, it looks as though you've been issued a few different hats, Sam. Why not experiment and switch up your headgear to suit your mood? You can also change the outfit I'm wearing if you like. I shall put my faith in your impeccable sense of fashion. Sam, is that Horizon Dreamer I spy in your music collection? That's one of Daiichi Miura's best songs. I'd love to hear it again, to listen and remember my family. Out of curiosity, Sam, did you notice that the mirror above your sink displays images of the outside world? These images change as we travel and actually show what's waiting for us outside the DHV Magellan when we disembark. Prolonged living inside an enclosed space can be bad for one's mental health due to the unchanging environment. That's why I asked Tarman to implement this particular feature. A digital photo frame, so to speak. An easy-to-understand name, don't you think? Though I'm the only one who calls it that. Anyway, it'll give you a preview of our surroundings. That's sure to have some practical benefits.
Extraction was successful. It was transferred to a sterilized pod and sent to a separate facility. Ready to proceed with corpse disposal? 1.